Hello, everyone. It is Penny here. I hope that all of you are doing well this week, getting yourselves ready to get geared up if you're in the US for the holidays next week, any travels that you have going on. For those of you who are new to my world, my name is Penny Chason. I'm a retired healthcare professional and a board certified hypnotist, and I help the highly successful overcome the mindset subconscious blocks, if you will. I really don't like that word. It's just really part of the old paradigm, but really to just shift that mindset for your ultimate success and fulfillment in life. So you tame that inner voice and you're able to fearlessly create whatever it is that you desire. So I want you to start out today by thinking about what it is that you want to create in 2023. What is it that you're laying the groundwork for right now? I would love to know. You can just pop in the comments and you can share what it is that you are planning to create. And I would love to know more about that because the world is exciting right now and there's lots of opportunity. There's also lots of fear, which is what brings me back to what we're going to talk about today. But first, I want you to know that if you have questions, you can pop those in the chat. And if we have time at the end, I will answer those for you. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about today is actually kind of everything. It's not everything. It is one of the components of everything. For me, personally, I believe that awareness is one of the most powerful skills that you can master in your life. If you want to master your mindset, you want to master your awareness. As a part of mastering our awareness, that is the gateway to mastering our attention. And your attention is what I want to talk to you about today. And you might think, oh, well, I pay attention. I know what's going on around me. And that's not what I mean. I want to talk about where we place our attention with our thoughts. Because even when those thoughts are subconscious and we're oblivious to them, if we're lacking that awareness, they still feed into how we go through our day. And we get more of where our attention is. So, for example, if your attention and your focus is always on how, certain people in your life tend to come around, and it always seems to be drama when they're around. Doesn't matter if it's business, personal life. We all know somebody like this in our life who thrives on drama. And if we're focusing our attention on the expectation that that's going to happen, then we're already priming our mind for that expectation. We have a lower tolerance for them now. And the reason why this happens is every time we put our attention on something, we're giving it meaning. And when we give something meaning, it stimulates the limbic system, which is the seat of our emotions. It's the seat of our well-being. Also, when we put our attention on something, we prime our mind through what it is that we're saying to ourselves. Because when we have thoughts to ourselves, we are talking to ourselves. We may not be saying it out loud, but we are talking to ourselves. So at multiple levels, you can see if you're focusing on something that you don't want, you're priming your brain to look for the very thing that you don't want. An example that I used to love to give to drive this point home is certainly most all of us have had a day where we roll out of bed maybe a few minutes late, right? but we're in a great mood. We're so optimistic about the day. We're a few minutes running late, but we're getting things together. We gather up our coffee. We go to head out the door, and maybe we splash a little bit of coffee on our shirt. And we're like, oh, geez, whatever. Let me go change shirts. We get in the car and we go to work and or to the office, right? But when I used to give this example, I was still an employee. So we're headed in to do what it is that we need to do. And now maybe we get caught in traffic and it becomes evident that there's no way we're going to make it to work on time. Like, you know, if we had hit the lights right, even though we left a few minutes late, we still would have been on time because we shoot to get to the office early, or we shoot to get to our job early. Now, because of the traffic jam, there's no way we can make it on time. So then we begin to think, you know what? Bob's really going to be pissed because I'm not going to have the presentation on his desk early enough for him to be able to completely go through it before a meeting. I'm just tossing something out there, right? You're having a really great day. You're optimistic. You're like, oh, Bob's going to have to live with it. Now, take a different day. We wake up and we're really not in a good mood. And now our attention is on how, you know what, I just don't want to go to work. I don't feel like adulting today. Not in the mood for this. You're already late. So you move through getting ready for your day. You're moving through getting ready for your day. You guys, I see you're watching. If you can comment, let me know who's there. I'd love to know who's here. So you're primed your mind now that you're not looking forward to this day. You're just not in the mood for it, right? So now you go make your coffee. Same scenario, exact same scenario. You go make your coffee. You're headed out the door. You bump your coffee cup. You get a little splash of coffee on your shirt. Well, now instead of being like, oh, geez, let me go change my shirt, it's like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I messed up my shirt. I'm really going to be late. And now we're building, right? Because our attention is on, we're not going to have a good day. We're not in the mood for this day. So it completely colors our perception of everything that happens that day. So you can see where this is going. You're going to change your shirt. You go get in the car, then you get in the traffic jam. And now that you're in the traffic jam, you realize there's no way you can make up the time. You're not going to get to work on time. And it's like, oh my God. And Bob, I'm just going to have to put up with Bob's crap today. I'm not going to get that presentation on his desk in time. And even though it's perfect and he should have done half the work himself and I did all the work, he's not going to like it. And now here we are, we're all in a huff. We've activated our stress system and we're going into work this way, or we're going into the office this way. We are where our attention is. If our attention is on the negative, then it is going to impact everything that we interact and do with that day negative. And so we're going to bring more to that, more to us in that negative, because we are a magnet. Physiologically, we are an electric being, and we're like a magnet. So we attract to us more of that. Emotions carry, people pick up on that. So people are going to be like, oh God, there's Penny. She's in a foul mood. Better steer clear of her. And they may be more short in their communications, right? So then that might irritate us and things just begin to snowball. But if our attention is on that optimism, right? And we get into work and Bob is in a gruff and, he's like, oh, I should have had this. It's like, yeah, we'll look at it this way. The presentation's perfect. We know we haven't nailed. I took care of all of it for you. So you can just kind of go in and present it and I'll be there to back you up no matter what. We have this optimism. It's like, Bob, we're a team. We got this. It's not a big deal. And it changes the environment of everything around us. Now, think about this in terms of your business. If you run a business, if your attention, say you're getting to the point that you need to create a team. And I mention this because I'm going through a process right now of growing my team. If you're going through, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know, it's hard to hire a team member, it's hard to get good help. I know all these people and they tend to go through team members like they're changing the shirts every day. I don't know if I want to deal with this hassle. It's not easy. My attention is on the fact that this isn't going to be easy. So I am priming my brain to make this difficult because I'm not seeing the easy side of things. I'm looking for problems, not looking for solutions. Okay. In all of this goes back to self-talk. It all goes back to your inner voice. Okay. It's habit, it's beliefs, it's patterns, and it all goes back to the way that we talk to ourselves. However, if I were to go into this search for team, or you were to go into search for team saying, you know what, I know the perfect person is out there. Let me start by writing down what this perfect person would look like. Like, what's important to me? Do I want them to have the same values as me? Are the skills important, right? Do I have time to train this person? Do I need to pay to have them trained, right? And you start looking at the possibilities so that you have a solution. So your attention is on the solution, which is having someone that you can trust, that you can train, that embodies your values to take on some of your work so you can do more of what you do best, or you're focused on the problem. I don't know how many of you do manifestation work. You can pop it in the comments if you do. I will tell you that there are a lot of very successful multi-7, multi-8-figure entrepreneurs I've met who embody spiritual principles, even if they don't realize they're doing it. Things like reciprocity, law of assumption, right? They're bringing things in and they don't realize it. If they understood this piece about attention, because wealth does not take care of your mindset. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Wealth will not fix your mindset. However, fixing your mindset will help you generate tremendous wealth, because I've worked with people that they hit a glass ceiling because their attention is on looking for problems, not looking at future possibility. So it impacts their choices, every choice they make in their business, every choice they make in their personal life, every choice that they make in networking and seeing potential opportunities for other revenue streams is impacted by the way that they look at the world. If your attention is on the problems, you're going to get more problems. If your attention is on growth, if your attention is on possibility, if your attention is like, what can you bring to me next? Universe, like, show me something. Bring something to me that's aligned. If you are looking for what is aligned with you, then that's what you're going to find. If there's any questions so far, just go ahead and begin to pop them in the chat, because if I have a few minutes, I will take the time to answer those. We came into this world to be creators. We came with a purpose, right? We came with possibility. The only reason our attention is on something other than possibility is because we've been conditioned to look at the world that way. One of the most interesting things is to connect with people who are engineers or have been involved in some sort of a career, an industry where it is the sole focus and job to anticipate problems so that you can be proactive and prevent the problem. So you get conditioned to look for the problem. When thinking like this becomes a habit, it can actually creep into our personal life. And then in our personal life, without even realizing it, every time we do something, we're framing it in reference of looking for a problem, looking for what can go wrong. And what that does is it can inadvertently begin to put us on guard, right? It trains our limbic system to look for the other shoe to drop, even though there's no reason to be concerned for the other shoe to drop. And the self-talk around this can be very subtle. Okay. We can think, we can feel, we can believe that our self-talk is extremely positive because we believe that we're doing a good thing by anticipating the problem. And that's really a bad place to be because you're missing opportunities and possibilities because you're too busy looking for something that might not even happen. Even when it's framed in a way that it looks like a very nice pie with the meringue on top and all of those things, it doesn't matter how pretty it looks. Negative self-talk is still negative self-talk. It doesn't matter how you frame it. If it's limiting your belief, your openness to possibility, it's limiting you. It doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't matter how successful you are. It will keep you from seeing what is right in front of you. And then later down the road, in hindsight, now here we go kicking ourselves because we how did we miss this? How did we not see this opportunity? Well, it's because we were too busy being focused on the problem, a potential problem that didn't even exist. It's not even there, instead of looking forward. So you are where your attention is. And it's very important to be mindful and to know where your attention is. Um, on a spiritual level, we should always know where our attention is all the time, right? But we're human. We get busy. We get bogged down into the to-dos and the list of things, and we get distracted and we're multitasking. When we're multitasking, our attention is anywhere except for where our attention is, right? We're not paying attention to those things because, as an adult, there have been very few times, but there have been times where, I went to pick up my cup of coffee and I didn't have a good grip on my cup of coffee and it slipped out of my hands and I spilled it or something like that. And every single time, I want you to think back because it's probably going to be exactly the same for you. Every single time, the reason why you drop something or you spill something is because your brain was a million miles away and you were operating out of habit. And because your attention wasn't on what you were doing, you didn't fully assess the situation from your senses. And so you missed the cup of coffee or you slipped or whatever and you dropped it. And it's because you were distracted, right? Your attention wasn't on what you were doing. Your awareness wasn't there. So knowing where your attention is and understanding why it's so important, because it's impacting your success, it's impacting your decisions, it's impacting how you think, feel, and believe around yourself. It's really key to your success. It's key to bringing more wealth in your life, more opportunities into your life. And it may not even be about wealth for you. Okay. Some people may be like, you know what, on a wealth level, I'm satisfied. Well, it goes for relationships. If you're in, maybe you're someone who's in your 40s and you're getting ready to semi-retire and you're wanting to learn a game of golf. You're wanting to learn the game of golf. Yeah, okay, whatever. Golf isn't my thing. But you are where your attention is, right? It all comes back to the same thing. It sounds so damn simple as to be insane, but It is one of the biggest things in your life, and mastery of it is so important. So, just to wrap up, I don't see any questions here in the chat. That attention, I mentioned how it comes out of habit. It can come out of our self-talk. It comes out of our beliefs. A lot of things impact how we manage our attention, and the self-talk that drives that attention, because when we put our attention on something, we're placing importance upon it. Hold on just a second. When we are placing our attention on something, we're putting importance upon it in relation to whatever else it is that we're doing. So our mind prioritizes that. And if our attention's on the negative, then that's what we draw into our life. So I hope that you have enjoyed this live today. If you get the opportunity to, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time or Central Daylight Time when it's daylight savings time, I go live here in the group for 15 to 30 minutes with one nugget that is going to help you to move forward in your life, in your success, and taming your inner voice. If you ever miss the live, what I'm doing is I'm beginning to put these lives over in the guides section. So you can always come back and for easy point of reference. And so you don't have to scroll through all the posts. You can go to the guides and you can see the previous Facebook lives. If anything at all in this live resonated with you and you want to know more and what resources I might have available for you to help you with mastering your attention and your awareness, you can just comment below, DM me, or you can direct message me. If you haven't already sent me a friend request, I encourage you to do so. That way you don't end up in my spam folder in the messages, because sometimes I have messages mysteriously appear in that spam folder 6 months after they were sent, even though I check it every single week. So I don't know what Facebook does. I don't know what the algorithms do. I'm not going to put my attention on that because it doesn't put me in a very pleasant mood. I'm just happy to be here to have this chat with you all and to serve you. And if you want to know more about me, how I can help you, what's available, DM me. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. I do not do high pressure anything. I don't convince anyone to work with me. You know, unless we have a conversation, I don't even know if you're a fit for what I have to offer. So anyway, I hope you have a blessed week. I will see you all next Wednesday. Oh, and there are several of you who I need to send the link to register to get your free access to the hypnosis audio. I'm going to take care of that today. And once you're on my list, I'm going to be sending out an email on Friday. If you want to get on the list to see my special Black Friday offer, there's going to be an amazing bonus for people who sign up on Thursday. And it's absolutely crazy pants. So you want to be sure to be able to get access to that. And it's only available to 10 people. So you want to be on that list. You want to be able to see what that is. So if it feels like it's a fit for you, you can take advantage of it. All right. I'll see you all next week.